The impossible promise: if someone insulted you yesterday and you're still thinking about it today, you're not living, you're being lived by others. Right now, you're a puppet, and everyone around you is pulling the strings. Today, I'm going to show you how to cut those strings forever, using 15 Stoic lessons that will make you psychologically invincible. The emotional prison break. Welcome to Stoic mentality. What you're about to learn isn't anger management or emotional suppression. This is complete psychological sovereignty, the ability to remain unshaken, regardless of what happens around you or to you. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire during plague and war without losing his composure. Epictetus was literally enslaved, yet more emotionally free than his masters. Seneca lost everything multiple times and never lost his peace. They all knew these 15 lessons you're about to discover. Right now, you're emotionally enslaved. Someone cuts you off in traffic, your day is ruined. Someone doesn't text back, you spiral into anxiety. Someone criticizes you, you lose sleep. You've given everyone else the remote control to your emotional state, and they're channel surfing through your peace. You're not the author of your emotional life. You're barely even a character in it. But here's the revolution. Emotions aren't things that happen to you. They're things you create. Every anger, every hurt, every frustration is a choice you're making unconsciously. Today we make it conscious. Today you learn to choose differently. Today you become emotionally invincible. Before we dive into the first lesson, and this one alone will transform how you experience every interaction. If you're tired of being an emotional ping-pong ball bounced around by everyone else's actions, if you're ready to become the calm in every storm, hit that subscribe button right now. Stoic mentality transforms ancient wisdom into modern power. New videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, each one making you more unshakable. Lesson 1. The space between stimulus and response. Viktor Frankl, heavily influenced by the Stoics, discovered this in a concentration camp. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. This isn't metaphorical, it's neurological. There's a 0.2 second gap between something happening and your emotional reaction. Master this gap, master your life. Right now, you're living at zero gap. Someone insults you, instant anger. Someone rejects you, instant hurt. Someone succeeds, instant envy. You've automated your emotional responses so completely that you think they're involuntary. They're not. You've just practiced them so long they feel automatic. Epictetus taught, it's not things themselves that disturb us, but our interpretations of those things. That interpretation happens in the gap. Someone calls you stupid. The event, sound waves hitting your ear. Your interpretation, they're attacking my worth. Your response, anger. But what if you interpreted it differently? They're having a bad day. They're projecting their insecurity. Their opinion is data, not definition. Here's your practice, the pause protocol. When something triggers you, count to 3 before responding. Not to calm down, to choose. In those 3 seconds, ask, what would the best version of me do here? Not the triggered you, not the defensive you, but the you you're becoming. Then do that. I practiced this with a business partner who betrayed me. My instant reaction wanted revenge. The 3-second pause revealed a better response, indifference. I didn't fight back or forgive. I simply removed them from my life, like deleting a spam email. No emotion, no drama, just practical action. Lesson 2. The Dichotomy of Control. This is the foundation of all Stoic emotional invincibility, understanding what you control and what you don't. You control your thoughts, decisions, and actions. You don't control everything else. Other people, outcomes, events, the past, the future. Every negative emotion comes from trying to control the uncontrollable. Think about what angers you. Someone's opinion? Outside your control. Traffic? Outside your control. The economy? Outside your control. You're essentially getting angry at clouds for raining. It's not just ineffective, it's insane. Marcus Aurelius ruled Rome with this principle. Plague spreading? Outside his control, no emotional energy wasted. His response to plague? Within his control, all energy focused there. He didn't get angry at disease, He got busy with solutions. Apply this immediately. When you feel anger rising, ask, is this within my control? If no, say, not my problem, and mean it. If yes, ask, what action will I take? Then take it. Emotion without action is masturbation. Action without emotion is mastery. Coming up, Lesson 3 will show you why your thoughts about events hurt more than the events themselves. Lesson 3. The story you're telling, Seneca wrote, we suffer more in imagination than reality. Every event is neutral until you add a story. Someone doesn't text back. Neutral event. Your story. They don't care about me. That story, not the silence, creates suffering. You're a meaning-making machine, constantly creating stories about everything. But your stories aren't truth. They're fiction, and bad fiction at that. You always cast yourself as the victim, others as villains, life as unfair. No wonder you're constantly triggered. Here's the story audit. When you're upset, write down what happened versus what you're telling yourself happened. John didn't invite me to lunch versus John deliberately excluded me because he dislikes me and wants me to feel bad. See the difference? The first is fact. The second is fiction that creates suffering. The antidote is militant factuality. Strip every event down to observable facts. Remove interpretation, assumption, projection. She frowned, not she hates me. I was fired, not my life is over. He left, not I'm unlovable. Facts don't hurt. Stories do. Lesson 4. The others are struggling. Principle Marcus Aurelius wrote, whenever you want to cheer yourself, consider the good qualities of your companions. But he went deeper. He recognized that everyone is fighting battles you know nothing about. That person who was rude, they might have just received devastating news. That aggressive driver may be rushing to a hospital. This isn't making excuses for bad behavior. It's understanding its origin. When you realize everyone is struggling, their actions stop being personal attacks and become impersonal symptoms of their own pain. You can't be angry at someone's fever, and rudeness is often emotional fever. I practice this daily. Cashier is short with me. They're dealing with something heavy. Boss is unreasonable. Pressure from above. Partner is distant. Internal battle. This perspective doesn't excuse behavior, but it prevents it from affecting my peace. The practical application. Before getting angry, ask, what might they be dealing with? Create 3 possible scenarios that explain their behavior without vilifying them. This isn't weakness, it's wisdom. Understanding prevents anger more effectively than suppression ever could. Lesson 5. The impermanence meditation. Everything that triggers you is temporary. That person who angers you, they'll be dead in 100 years. That situation frustrating you, it'll be forgotten in months. That embarrassment haunting you, nobody else even remembers. Zoom out far enough and everything becomes insignificant. Seneca practiced this deliberately. What is the cause of my irritation? The shortness of life makes it silly. When you truly grasp how brief everything is, holding on to anger becomes absurd. It's like being furious at a cloud that's already passed. Here's your practice. When triggered, ask, will this matter in 10 years? 10 months? 10 days? Usually the answer is no. If it won't matter then, why let it matter now? You're giving permanent emotional real estate to temporary events, but go deeper. You're temporary too. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily of his mortality, not from morbidity, but from perspective. When you remember you're dying, petty irritations lose their power. You don't have time to be angry when you're aware time is limited. Next, Lesson 6 reveals why trying not to be angry actually makes you angrier. Lesson 6. The acceptance paradox. Fighting anger creates more anger. It's like trying not to think of a pink elephant. The resistance creates the persistence. The Stoics discovered that accepting the initial flash of anger, then choosing your response, eliminates it faster than fighting it ever could. Epictetus taught about first movements, involuntary emotional reactions. Someone insults you and anger flashes. This isn't failure, it's human. The Stoic difference isn't not feeling the flash, it's not feeding the fire. Acknowledge the spark without adding fuel. When anger arises, say, I notice anger is here, not I am angry, and that's identification. Just anger is visiting. Like a guest, it can visit without moving in. You observe it, acknowledge it, then choose whether to act on it. Usually just observing it causes it to dissipate. This isn't suppression, it's transcendence. Suppression says, I shouldn't feel this. Acceptance says, I feel this and I choose my response. One creates internal war, the other creates peace. Lesson 7. The premeditation of wrong Seneca started each day imagining everything that could go wrong. Not from pessimism, but from preparation. When you've already mentally experienced the worst, nothing surprises you. When nothing surprises you, nothing triggers you. Every morning, spend 5 minutes imagining potential triggers. Traffic jams, difficult people, technology failures, disappointments. See yourself handling each with calm competence. When, not if, they occur, you've already rehearsed your response. This isn't negative thinking, it's strategic thinking. Athletes visualize both success and failure scenarios. Military strategists plan for everything going wrong. Stoics prepare for emotional challenges the same way. Prepared minds don't panic. I do this before every important day. Imagine the meeting going poorly, the deal falling through, the conversation getting heated. Then I imagine myself responding with grace. When challenges arise, I'm not shocked. I'm ready. Ah, yes, I prepared for this. Lesson 8. The energy economics principle. Anger is expensive. It costs energy, health, relationships, opportunities. Marcus Aurelius understood this. How much more grievous are the consequences of anger than the causes of it? The price of anger always exceeds its trigger. Calculate the true cost of your anger. That argument that ruined your day? 8 hours of productivity lost. That road rage incident? Elevated cortisol for hours, aging you faster. That grudge you're holding? Mental real estate that could house creativity instead. Here's the economic analysis. Before getting angry, calculate the ROI. What will anger accomplish? Will it change the past? Improve the future? Solve the problem? If the return is negative, it always is, don't make the investment. But there's opportunity cost too. Every moment spent angry is a moment not spent creating, connecting, growing. You have limited emotional energy. Spend it on anger, and you can't spend it on achievement. Millionaires don't have time for petty anger. Neither do you. Coming up, Lesson 9 will transform how you see people who trigger you. Lesson 9, the mirror principle. What triggers you most in others is often what you deny in yourself. Their arrogance angers you because you suppress your own. Their laziness frustrates you because you fear your own. Their success threatens you because you doubt your own. They're mirrors showing you what you refuse to see. Carl Jung, influenced by Stoic thought, called this projection. You project onto others what you won't acknowledge in yourself. This is why different people trigger different things. We all have different shadows we're projecting. When someone triggers you, ask, what quality in them am I not accepting in myself? This isn't about them anymore. It's about your growth. They become your teacher, showing you where you need work. I discovered this when arrogant people infuriated me. Deep inquiry revealed my own suppressed arrogance, thinking I was better because I was humble. The arrogance I hated in others was the arrogance I denied in myself. Once acknowledged, the trigger disappeared. Lesson 10. The voluntary discomfort training. Seneca deliberately practiced discomfort. Cold baths, fasting, sleeping on floors. Not masochism, mental training. When you voluntarily choose discomfort, involuntary discomfort loses its power. When you're comfortable being uncomfortable, nothing can disturb your peace. Start small. Cold shower for 30 seconds. Skip a meal. Sleep without your pillow. Wear uncomfortable clothes. Each voluntary discomfort builds involuntary resilience. You're teaching your nervous system that discomfort isn't danger. This extends to emotional discomfort. Deliberately have difficult conversations. Voluntarily face criticism. Choose to be misunderstood. When you practice emotional discomfort voluntarily, involuntary emotional challenges can't shake you. The paradox: the more discomfort you voluntarily accept, the more comfortable life becomes. Not because life gets easier, but because you get stronger. What once triggered you now barely registers. Lesson 11. The observer. Self-technique. You are not your emotions. You're the observer of them. This isn't philosophy, it's neuroscience. The part of your brain that experiences anger is different from the part that observes it. Strengthen the observer, weaken the reactor. Practice meta-awareness. Throughout the day, observe yourself like a scientist. I'm experiencing anger. I'm feeling triggered. I'm becoming defensive. Not judgment, just observation. The moment you observe an emotion, you're no longer controlled by it. Marcus Aurelius mastered this. His meditations are literally him observing his own mind. He watched his thoughts like clouds passing through sky. Clouds don't disturb the sky. Thoughts don't have to disturb you. Create an observer phrase. Interesting. I'm getting triggered by this. The word interesting creates distance. You become the scientist studying your emotions, not the subject controlled by them. Lesson 12. The contribution focus. When you focus on what you can give rather than what you can get, triggers disappear. Someone insults you? How can you contribute to their growth? Someone succeeds over you? How can you contribute to collective success? Contribution consciousness eliminates trigger consciousness. Epictetus, despite being enslaved, focused on contributing wisdom to fellow slaves. He couldn't control his bondage, but could control his contribution. This focus made him psychologically free despite physical chains. Before reacting to any trigger, ask, how can I contribute here? Not how was I wronged, but how can I serve? This isn't martyrdom, it's mastery. When you're focused on giving, you can't be triggered by not getting. Lesson 13. The wisdom of insignificance. Marcus Aurelius regularly practiced cosmic insignificance. He'd imagine viewing Earth from space, seeing the irrelevance of his problems. Your triggers, invisible from orbit. Your anger, meaningless to the universe. Your hurt feelings, cosmic dust. This isn't nihilism, it's proportion. When you zoom out enough, everything that triggers you reveals itself as trivially small. The meeting that went badly, undetectable from the moon. The relationship that ended, invisible from Mars. Practice the zoom out. When triggered, imagine pulling back from the room, the building, the city, the country, the planet, the solar system. Keep going until your trigger becomes invisible. It's still real, but relatively insignificant. Lesson 14. The virtue override. When triggered, immediately ask, what virtue can I practice here? Someone lies to you? Practice truth. Someone is cruel? Practice kindness. Someone betrays you? Practice loyalty to your values. Every trigger becomes a virtue training opportunity. The Stoics believed virtue was its own reward. When you respond to triggers with virtue, you win regardless of outcome. They may have triggered you, but you practiced excellence. They revealed their character. You built yours. This transforms every negative interaction into positive practice. You're no longer victim to triggers. You're using them for growth. The worse their behavior, the better your training. The bigger the trigger, the greater the growth opportunity. Lesson 15. The ultimate freedom. The final lesson. You're already free. Epictetus discovered this in slavery. External forces can control your body, your circumstances, your environment, but never your mind unless you let them. Your emotional reactions are the last slavery, and they're voluntary. Every time you're triggered, you're choosing slavery. Every time you react, you're forging chains. But every time you pause, observe, and choose your response, you're declaring independence. Freedom isn't given, it's taken, one untriggered moment at a time. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. This isn't hope, it's fact. Your mind is sovereign territory. Others can attack the borders, but they can't invade unless you open the gates. The integration protocol. These 15 lessons aren't meant to be absorbed at once. Here's your integration protocol. Week 1-2. Master the pause, Lesson 1, and Dichotomy of Control, Lesson 2. These are foundational. Week 3-4. Add story auditing, Lesson 3. And impermanence meditation, Lesson 5. Week 5-6. Integrate acceptance paradox, Lesson 6. And pre-meditation, Lesson 7. Continue adding 2 lessons every 2 weeks. Within 4 months, you'll have integrated all 15. Don't rush, depth beats speed. Master each before adding more. Daily practice, morning, premeditate potential triggers. Throughout day, practice the pause and observation. Evening, review triggers and responses, celebrating progress. Your transformation timeline. Here's what happens when you apply these lessons. Day 1-7, you'll catch yourself getting triggered after the fact. Progresses awareness, even delayed. Day 8:30, you'll catch yourself during triggers. The pause becomes natural. Responses become conscious. Day 31-60, triggers decrease in frequency and intensity. What once enraged, now merely a noise. Day 61-90, major triggers become minor irritations. You'll wonder why things ever bothered you. Day 91+, psychological invincibility emerges. Not perfection, mastery. You still feel initial reactions, but choose responses consciously. People will notice. They'll ask what's different. They'll say you've changed. Some will be inspired, others threatened. Your peace will trigger those attached to chaos. This is the final test. Can you remain untriggered by people triggered by your lack of triggers? The warning, this power comes with responsibility. When you become untriggerable, you become dangerous. Not to others, but to systems that depend on your emotional reactivity. Advertising loses power when desire doesn't trigger you. News loses influence when fear doesn't trigger you. Manipulation fails when guilt doesn't trigger you. You'll also lose some relationships. People who connected through complaint, bonded through blame, related through reaction, they'll find you boring. Your peace will threaten their chaos. Your calm will challenge their storm. Some will leave, let them. But you'll gain something greater, authentic connections with people who appreciate presence over performance, peace over passion, wisdom over reaction. Quality replaces quantity, depth replaces surface. Real replaces fake. The choice point, you stand at a crossroads. Path 1. Continue being everyone's emotional puppet, triggered by everything, angry at everyone, peace stolen by anyone. Path 2. Apply these 15 lessons, become psychologically invincible, emotionally sovereign, triggered by nothing. The Stoics made their choice. Marcus Aurelius chose peace during plague. Seneca chose calm during chaos. Epictetus chose freedom during slavery. They proved it's possible. The question isn't can you, it's will you. Will you practice the pause? Will you audit your stories? Will you accept impermanence? Will you choose virtue over vengeance? Will you claim your freedom? Your next action, here's exactly what you do now. First, subscribe to Stoic Mentality if you haven't. We're not just teaching philosophy, we're building an army of the untriggerable. Every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, we go deeper into these practices. Second, comment below with your biggest trigger and which lesson you'll apply first. Public commitment creates accountability. Third, share this with someone who's constantly triggered. Be the messenger who delivers their emotional freedom. Fourth, start tomorrow with the pause. Just 3 seconds between trigger and response. Those 3 seconds will change everything. Remember, every trigger is a teacher. Every anger is an opportunity. Every irritation is an invitation to grow. You're not learning to suppress emotions. You're learning to choose them. You're not becoming heartless. You're becoming mindful. You're not turning cold. You're becoming free. Marcus Aurelius ruled the known world, yet wrote, "Confine yourself to the present." He understood the ultimate secret. Triggers exist only in past and future thinking. In the present moment, there are no triggers, only experiences. That person who insulted you yesterday, they exist only in your memory. That confrontation you're dreading tomorrow, it exists only in imagination. Right now, in this moment, reading these words, are you triggered? No, because triggers require time travel, and presence prevents that. This is your graduation from emotional kindergarten. No more tantrums when things don't go your way. No more letting others determine your inner state. No more being victim to your own reactions. You're claiming what was always yours, complete emotional sovereignty. The world needs more untriggerable people. In a society of reaction, conscious response is revolutionary. In a culture of outrage, calm is rebellion. In a world of triggers, peace is power. Welcome to the untriggerable life. It's not a destination, it's a practice. Not an achievement, it's a choice. Not something you become, it's something you remember you always were. This is Stoic mentality, reminding you that between stimulus and response lies your freedom. Claim it.